Peace and blessings, beautiful souls. Respect and honor. You are now tuned into Power Podcasts. I am Brandi L. Bates, and I am super grateful for your presence and taking the time to listen. You can find me on Instagram at Brandi is Winning and on Twitter at Soledad Francis. Most of these podcasts are archived on YouTube via the I Am Brandi Bates channel, but please subscribe, like, and follow us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and brandibates.podomatic.com, hashtag Power Podcasts. I want to apologize as we've been having some serious audio technical difficulties, but we're back in full effect. I don't know if it's the shadow of Mercury retrograde or what, but today we're talking about agents of change and being unhinged. Unhinged agents of change. Unhinged from stat quo, from limitation, fear, and society. And when you're clear on how you want to feel, you can be open to what life wants to give you. And life usually has something even better in store for you than what you've imagined. It's like God, the Most High. The Most High will always be able to give you above and beyond your wildest dreams, better than you can imagine. The author of all things can write a better script. Trust me. But the problem is, you'll never be given more than you can handle. You'll never be given more than you can carry. And so when you look at your life and the reality of your world, your relationships, your career, your health, your finances, your mindset, your mental state, it's a reflection of what you can handle today at this present time in your life. And so if you want more and you would like to be able to experience more, you have to be able to carry more, if you will. Because you'd buckle under the weight of anything that is more than you are physically and mentally able to handle. It was Rumi who reminds us that what you seek is seeking you. So health, wealth, beauty, genius, none of these things are created. They're not created. They are only manifested by the arrangement of your mind. That is by your concept of yourself. And your concept of yourself is all that you accept and consent to be true. And so there's a level of awareness available to you that you're probably unfamiliar with. And this realm enables you to have more say and control over what manifests and enters into your life. You can't always choose what happens to you, but I promise you, you can always choose how you feel about it, And so just like anger and sometimes rage even can be useful. It can be galvanizing. Anger can lead to, more positive states of being and higher vibrational frequencies if you learn how to use it as a powerful fuel that energizes you, invigorates you, and moves your motor, right? And it's about taking radical responsibility for how you create your life and how you respond to the people and circumstances around you. It's about choosing positivity when you could just as easily choose negativity. And we can't understand the nature of reality until we let go of controlling our experience. Right? The soul always desires that which will most reveal its true nature. Always. And so that's why everything that's happening in your life, even if you look back over your life, when you were younger or whatnot, you'll notice that every stage of your life, every developmental notch, right, or rung in the ladder, if you will, was you trying to be more of who you are. And you know, it's like when I was 7 or 8 years old, I knew that I wanted to be a writer from a very young age. We all know kids who, we always knew they were going to be comedians because they just love making people laugh. We always knew the people who were going to be great athletes because they were always, you know, with a ball in their hand and loved, you know, the freedom that came with being out there on the court or being out there on the field, right? What I'm getting at is that your soul, who you innately are, beneath, you know, beneath the sew-in, beneath the weave, beneath the false lashes, beneath, you know, any facade or mask that you wear before society, is always trying to cling to and move towards those things that reveals its true nature. But you have to ask yourself, what is your self-concept? What is your self-concept? And understand that your concept of yourself is everything that you believe to be true. And everything that you believe to be true about yourself has landed you precisely where you live and breathe every day of your life. And so we know that beliefs are powerful. Beliefs are metaphysical forces. Irrespective of spiritual, political, ideological, ethical origins, beliefs govern our lives and direct us into navigating this universe. Right? And so you are Elohim, gods and goddesses, governors of creation. We forget that. And in a universe of possibilities and not absolute facts, nothing is absolutely hardened because everything is always in motion. But belief is a radical vote of confidence. You can take that to the bank, right? In the same way that naming something creates it, believing in something means bringing it into existence. The strength of beliefs, of ideas, is among the most valuable things we possess. Next to, you know, your will, your willpower, work ethic, you know, these are things you can't hold in your hand. They're not tangible, but they're real no less, right? It's the source and the potency of everything toward which we can aspire in this lifetime. When you peel away all of the, you know, you want the fast car, you want the red bottoms, you want the house in the hills, you know, you want to hang out and rub elbows and sip Douce with Yeezy. When you peel back all of that, what we want is to we want our beliefs to power and manifest all the shit that we want in this life. Beneath, you know, like they say, there's always something behind or motivation behind what people do. There's the truth, and then it's what they tell you. Some people are honest with themselves and honest with others, but most people will give you a politically correct motivation. But, you know, language as a vehicle and as the materialization of our convictions is full of words that are used in careless and imprecise ways. So, you know, it's like that simple idea that cursing to write in cursive comes from the fact that in the medieval times, right, you would cast a spell on someone, you would curse someone, you could cast a spell on them by your words. That's where that comes from. And when you're spelling, you're casting a spell, right? And oftentimes they're detrimental curses. You know, I've said it before. You have to watch your language. You have to watch your tongue. When people say things, oh, fuck me, I will kill killing myself laughing, right? Or fuck my life. You know, and even when it's joking and playing, you have to watch. You have to watch what you're doing, because your mind, your subconscious mind doesn't know that you playing or you joking or you joning. You know, it's taking everything you're believing and saying as stone cold truth, fact. Because that's the substance it's using to build your reality. Your words are like the little Lego blocks, the little building blocks to build your fortress. Your spirit, your invisible intelligence, or inner energetic mechanism, it can think itself out of disease. It can perform alchemy. Reality is built on a collective agreement and a system of beliefs ranging from, the most intimate and personal to group beliefs, countrywide beliefs, regional beliefs, and world beliefs. If we think about it, these beliefs are what move the world, right? So for example, money only has value because we all have agreed to believe that this little piece of paper is currency and has value. Government. Think about it. The masses, the numbers of people are far more powerful than a few limited individuals who call themselves our representatives. But yet we allow the few to control the many because we've agreed, we've given them power. We've agreed to give a man who calls himself the president or the king or the prime minister, or you know what I mean? Whatever you call it. We've all agreed that this man is the man of power. This is our leader. And so that's what gives him power. The belief that we're giving and the energy we're moving towards him. Even the integrity of a chair. Because who's to say that chair is going to hold you up? Every time you sit down in a chair, you just plop down on a chair, you're just assuming there's integrity on the legs of that chair that it's going to hold you up. But you also have to have a self-concept about what you can't do, right? We all have a self-concept of what we can do, what is possible for us, and we have a self-concept of what we can't do, what you can't accomplish, right? So how often do we tell ourselves, oh, I won't be able to do that. I don't think I can do that. I'm not even gonna be able to do it. Couldn't be me, right? You hear people saying things like that. I'm black, I'm Latino, I'm woman, I don't make enough money. Right? So the first place to start is don't let your brain be so sure of its uneducated opinions and false narratives. A popular opinion people have is money can't buy happiness. First of all, that's something that it's like almost like groupthink. It comes from the hive mind. And this has been proven false by Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman, who he conducted a study that evaluates people's day-to-day happiness compared to the amount of money they have, right? And Kahneman found that lack of money actually brings both emotional misery and a low life evaluation. Yeah. And similar results were found for anger. Because I don't believe that bullshit that money can't buy happiness. Because I know that when I have stacks in the bank and I have money in my pocket, in my purse, and food on the table and nice clothes on my back, and I'm able to travel and do the things I want to do, that makes me very happy. The lack of money brings about misery. It brings about stress, just worrying about what you can't do and can't have and can't taste because you can't afford it. And so your self-concept is a blend of your beliefs regarding your connection to a higher power, right? And learning to stay close to our soul is an organic process. It's something that it changes over time. It's something that you have to learn how to work. It's like a muscle. You have to strengthen it. You have to use it. You have to lean on it. But this is about taking radical responsibility for how you create your life and how you respond to the people and circumstances around you. And understand that the process impacts the outcome, always. And anything is possible. Anything, all things are possible. And you have to find a way to win, not just compete. There's a big difference. Huge chasm of a difference. Because most people pat themselves on the back just for attempting something. Oh, I went to school. At least I tried. I got married. It didn't work. Right? I tried. Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try. Either you did it or you didn't. Right? Figure out how to finish what you need to win at. Be creative. Stay anchored to your deepest hopes, dreams, goals, and desires, but be wide open to the form in which it manifests. Each day we listen to inner voices that keep our life small. We play small. Deep within us lurks this saboteur. It's like a voice of fear. And that voice convinces us to stop when we're set to start something or surrender when we're close to the goal. It's so many times you don't even realize how close you are to getting that book deal or getting that sit down meeting with that executive that's going to catapult your life into the stratosphere, right? You're right there, and you give up. I can't take it. Fuck this shit. Throw in the towel. You done with it. You drop out. I don't want to deal with this shit no more, right? You were right there. And few things fail as well as success does. Because when you get to the top, guess what? You just know where to go but the bottom. And so easy to arrive at the summit and then begin to stop doing the very things that got you there. What do we do as soon as we get in the relationship with who we've always been wanting to be in that relationship with? We stop, guys, you stop pulling out the seats, you stop sending the roses, you stop writing the love letters, right? Ladies, you stop cooking, you stop being cute, you stop wearing the makeup, you getting comfortable, right? In the beginning, you wouldn't even, burp in front of them. Now you just don't give a fuck, right? And it's letting down the guards. It's once you arrive, you stop rehearsing for 8 hours a day. You're like, oh, I got the gold, right? I got the crown. It's making it to the Olympics, getting the gold, and then all of a sudden you're eating what you want to eat. You drinking milkshakes, you chilling, you partying, you smoking, and you're just letting yourself, you stop doing what you did to get there. And the real trap is that the moment you become wow, you start thinking you're wow, right? But all the masters never think like masters, but like beginners. And so they stay as masters. You have to be confident in yourself, but yet never rest on your laurels, right? And so this is what I know for sure. Agents of change. It's what's under the ground that creates what's above the ground. Stop looking at the fruits and trying to change the fruits and get to the root. Change the root. Change how you're cultivating the soil. Don't just look at the outer and don't look at your skin and just throw lotion on it. Oh, I got dry skin. Look at the fact that you're probably not drinking enough water. You're drinking the wrong kind of water. You're not getting out in the sun enough. Maybe you're putting the wrong products and foods in your body. And when you change that, the outer, the skin is going to shine and radiate. The boundary to what we can accept is the boundary to our freedom. You determine the boundary though. That's the gag. And each time you meet an old emotional pattern with presence, your awakening to truth can deepen. And so often in adulthood, we pursue in our romantic relationships what we lacked in our childhood, right? How you think is under your control. It's never too expensive to invest in your own health by spending less on stupid shit and more on real food. I hear people say, oh, food is expensive. Whole Foods is expensive. Whole check. Well, look, you have the money to do the shit you want to do, right? I'm saying reroute your money. What's of more value? Every day you decide. Is getting your nails done, having acrylic tips on your nails more important than having organically grown vegetables? And oftentimes we choose that. So we trick our money off on one end, and then we're forced to eat dollar menu, right? Value combo meals, right? Life wants you to win. That's why everything works to make you either stronger, wiser, faster, or more patient. Each trial serves you. I don't care what happens in your life. Divorce, death of a loved one, losing a family member, losing a job, getting sick, falling ill, everything until it kills you, unless it kills you, it's gonna serve you. It's trying to teach you something. You just need to get out of your own way. And that means by staying super open and holding your goals with every fiber within you, hold it with a light grasp. And trust the wisdom of your instincts over the chattering of your logic. Sometimes you have to learn how to quiet the voice in your head and go with the gut. The gut. That feeling you have in the pit of your stomach is stronger than little voices in your head. Oh, don't do that. I wouldn't put up with that shit. Things like that, or whatever you say in right, in your vernacular. You probably don't, that's what the voice in my head sounds like. But you're not supposed to understand everything. That's the beauty of, Socrates said, the wisest man knows that he knows nothing at all. Because the more shit you learn, the more you realize, damn, I really don't even know where to start. Even when you've arrived and you've gone to school and you've educated yourself and you've read all the books and you've experienced all the workshops and the seminars and you've moved up each rank and level and file, right? You still realize it's so much about so many other aspects of life in the world that you have no clue about. You may be very sharp in one area, right? In one subject, but that doesn't mean you know everything about everything. And so you've got to embrace what you don't know, baby. Give people an incentive to manipulate you, and they will. It's like if you put shit out there for people to steal and then you act surprised when they steal it, you're the fool. What I know for sure, there's a universe inside you. Your brain was designed for your survival, not your happiness. But you can work on rewiring it. Even the way we eat, your brain is giving you signals at all times. And the way we eat, the way we exercise, the way we view things, it's designed for your survival. That's why your mind won't allow you to change up habit on a whim. You have to really rewire the brain. You got to really train the brain and be like, look, no, I don't want to wake up at, any old time in the morning. I want to discipline myself to wake up at 5 a.m. Or I want to discipline myself to stop eating sugar. I want to discipline myself, right, to start running 5 miles a day. Though you have to, because the mind is like, no, we just want to survive. We want to stay in stat quo. And we don't want to change anything because we're good like this. even though good like this can be a barrier to happiness, right? I'm learning that so much of life is an amazing mystery, and we'll never figure it all out. And while it may not unfold the way you want, it always eventually turns out even better than you expected. You know, I can remember times when I was like, 21 years old, and I had my dream car in my mind that I wanted. And, back then we didn't have vision boards. We didn't call a thing what it was. We didn't have the words or the vernacular to call something a dream board or a dream book or The Secret, all of those types of things. But I can remember wanting a certain kind of car, and I always got a better, nicer car. I remember just thinking to myself, I'd be happy with, I can't even remember the name of the car. It escapes me, but I remember wanting a certain kind of car, and I would just be happy if it was a used one, as long as it was the color I wanted. And I remember actually walking onto the dealership and buying my own brand new, never been driven car fresh off the lot, and thinking to myself, I couldn't even imagine that this was possible for me. And that's just an example, right? Sometimes you might have a dream job in mind for you, and then you end up working somewhere. It may not look exactly like you thought it was going to look, but you end up loving the people there. You end up connecting with someone there on your level who is awesome and amazing and pulls out all this greatness out of you, or just different situations. But the point is, it's always going to be better than you expect. Whatever your hope is, whatever your desires are, whatever your dreams are, when they come to fruition and when they come to pass, it's going to be so much more beautiful than you expected. And what else I know for sure is that the hand that gives gathers. It just does. And serving sets up the receiving process. My mother used to say, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. And it's just true. The people who are always giving, even if they don't have much, they'll give you a shirt off their back. Those are the people who always have things pouring into their life. Some of your problems are truly, truly your fault and of your own making. And you got to really wrap your mind around that. Some of the shit that's happening in your life, much of it, you've brought upon yourself based on the decisions you made, choices you didn't make, right? Emotions power wealth, folks. It's about impact, not activity. Truly monumental work gets done in short bursts of intense production. People who talk about Prince and Michael Jackson, they talk of how perfectionist they were, how perfect their art had to be, how perfect their craft was to them, how it needed to look before they released it, how the music had to sound before they allowed it to touch your ears. Short bursts of intensity is what boils the water. Water doesn't boil until it reaches a certain boiling point. What is it that you need to put in place intense focus on to get it boiling, to get it popping in your life? What I know for sure, your social circle determines your net worth. These are facts. These are facts. A lot of times it's determined by the county you live in. Certain zip codes, you'll notice, if you're in the States, right? If you're in the States, you're on the East Coast, Publix doesn't go into but certain communities, right? On the West Coast, You're not going to see Vons or Ralph's or Albertsons or whatnot. You're not going to see Whole Foods in the hood. A lot of times that's how they can determine the socioeconomic status of a community, is if a Starbucks enters that zip code. Your social circle determines your net worth, your paper, the bag. And you'll never rise to financial freedom until you populate your life with bigger thinkers and better performers than you. I mean, and you really got to look at that thing. I hear a lot of young people, and this is no bag on the millennials or whatnot, but I'll see young people, you know, really looking up to like the Migos, and they think the money is big on like some random artist who has like 1 or 2 albums. The real money, baby, is in the publishing. The real money is in the production. You know who gets the biggest check? The executive producer who's behind the scenes. The players don't make the money that the owner makes. You know? Keep energy vampires and dream stealers at arm's length at all times, even if it's family. Sometimes you have to know when to kick rocks. Welcome in those radical thinkers of radical ingenuity and bold productivity, doers, right? Movers and shakers. People with off the charts humanity. I love just generous souls, just people who are just sweet and kind. Just, you know, as soon as you see them, they hug you. They always smiling. They have almost an aura of lightness, like a cloud around them, like a halo, because they're just so sweet and loving. You can sense that from a person, even when you just in passing, you can sense that in a person. All it takes is one conversation, folks, with a game changer to alter the rest of the way your life unfolds. Do you hear me? Full stop. You're one idea from revolutionizing your life. One idea can make you a millionaire, a billionaire in the next 5 to 7 years. Your money never exceeds your identity. What I know for sure is that many of your haters won't openly hate you. They'll instead, they'll wait for a reason to hate you that's more socially acceptable. And all things come to an end. Everything has to end. Nothing is forever. Even if a relationship is, 30, 40 years in the making, a 40, 50 year wedding anniversary, at some point, both of those people are going to transition, right? They're going to die. All things are going to come to an end. So my advice to you would be this. Focus on your singular masterpiece, your Taj Mahal, your Sistine Chapel, your moonwalk, your Tesla, your Uber, your Netflix. One of the things that destroys great companies and great organizations and lives is pursuing too many once-in-a-lifetime opportunities versus developing a maniacal focus around the best one thing. What do you need to focus on to reach your boiling point? Be of use, release artistry into the world, be scary fucking good at what you do. I mean, because the more people you help and the more value you deliver, the more life rewards you in kind. It doesn't matter if it's through an app. It doesn't matter if it's through a food truck, right? Give your best work. Give your best mindset. Give your best courage. Give your best love. Give us your best gifts. Give the world your best, your all, and give to those in need. Be different. Go contrarian. Be a standout. So good at what you do that we can't take our eyes off of you. And become the best version of yourself fast. Because life is short. And you never know how much time you have left. So thank you for listening. Have an amazing, fantastic rest of your day. Have a great weekend. And keep your head up and stay blessed. Peace.